and good afternoon and good evening to all our friends and family
fellows
members
around.
around the world. We welcome you to the parallel event hosted by Foundation for Women's Rights Promotion and Development.
Today we are very happy to have four remarkable NGO
NGO workers and
social
social entrepreneurs to join us in this session.
and
And as you know that climate
change
change
is
is
becoming
becoming a climate
urgency
emergency in
these
the
days.
States, and everyone is affected by climate change. It's our everyday new normal.
So that's
That's
why
why
we
we
decided
decided to have this session
to
to
share
share the
sustainable
sustainable lifestyles
in
in
Taiwan,
Taiwan and
also the
also the feminist climate actions
here.
here in Taiwan.
So
So
before the
before the
session,
session, I would like to share some of the backgrounds of why we have
this
this parallel event.
to
To echo the priority theme of CSW 66,
Foundation
Foundation
for
for
Women's
Women's Rights Promotion and Development have
organized
organized
this
these
exhibitions
exhibitions in Taiwan Women's Center, where we want to share the local climate actions
here
here
in
in
the
the
exhibition
exhibition
hall.
hall.
And
And
to
to
share
share
those
those
climate
climate
actions
actions with more people who are not in Taiwan, we decided to have this parallel event so everyone can learn about the feminist actions here in Taiwan.
so before we
Before we
start
start
the
the
session,
session, we welcome all our participants to leave the message, any comments, any questions that you would like to raise
to
to
our
our
speaker,
speakers or
to
to our parallel event. And
also
also remember to turn off your microphone if you are not speaking
to
to
make
make
sure.
sure the quality of the parallel event.
And before we
Before we
start
start
the
the
session,
session, I would like
to
to
introduce
introduce
the
the speakers
speakers relative.
relatively.
First,
First,
we
we
have
have
Homemakers
Homemakers United
Foundation,
Foundation,
and
and
we
we are very honored to have the
supervisor
supervisor of
environmental
environmental
education
education, Claire Gu,
to
to
join
join
us.
us today.
And
And
secondly,
secondly, we have
Fashion
Fashion Mom Recycle and Upcycle,
Founder
founder of
the
the
political
political
party
party,
and the general secretary of this political
party called Obasang
United.
United.
Cherry her
Can you
anyway.
wait? Right. And third, we have our board member from Taipei Awakening Association, Cynthia Jiang,
Cynthia, she will
Hi.
here with us.
a very impressive project um, initiated by Taipei Awakening Association. And last but not least, we have the founder of Freed's Trust Fund and Spring Sprout Innovations,
Innovations, the
founder
uh, of
of
the
Freed's
REITs
Trust
Trust
Fund.
Fund, Hua.
And we are very
Very happy to have them to be in this parallel event with us.
and in this session, I believe that you
You can have some climate actions
can.
takeaways right after the parallel event.
So, without further ado, I
I
will
would like to introduce you the agenda today. The first
part
part
of
of
the
the following
19
19
minutes
minutes, we will have the first
questions
questions
to
to
our
our
speakers.
speakers.
They were relatively.
Relatively share their projects to you.
And
And
in the
in the
second
second
part
part of the session, we
of
will
digger on
the impact that they have been made for
for the
the
community
communities
by
by having
this
these
project.
projects.
And in
And
the
in the
third
third part, we invited all our participants to join us to have a panel discussion.
you
If you
have
have
any
any experience you would like to share, any questions
questions to
to our speakers,
speakers,
or
any
any
comments
comments on
the
their programs, you're
welcome
welcome to leave the message
the
in the
chat
chat.
box. Okay,
Okay,
so
so
finally
finally, we
we'll
will jump, we will
introduce our first speakers. And the first speakers will
be
Claire.
Claire Wu from Homemakers United Foundation.
And
And
before
before
that,
that,
our
our
questions
questions for our speakers is
what you can do to fight climate actions in our daily lives, and how do you leverage the effects of the increasingly
really
frequent
frequent
climate
climate
emergencies
emergencies
to
to
enhance
enhance
public
public awareness of climate change.
consciousness? So let's welcome Claire to share some of her point of view on these questions. Claire?
Thank you very much, Annie. So it's a pleasure for me to be here today. I'm Claire, and I'm representing the Homemakers United Foundation today. So I will start by talking a little bit about the work that we've been doing as response to climate change. So there are two main key areas of advocacy and education that we work in. One is the use of green energy, and the other one on building an eco-friendly food system, which includes raising awareness to eco-friendly agriculture, green diets, green consumption, and food waste reduction. And today, I think I will be focusing a little bit more on the latter of the two, and especially on how that could be incorporated into a more sustainable lifestyle. So many people might still be wondering how food is related to climate change. But in fact, according to the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations, the total amount of food waste in the world accounts for 8 to 11% of total carbon emissions. So it's actually contributing a lot, significantly more than we have imagined. And also, food waste has like another devastating effect on the environment. As we know that most food waste actually end up in incinerators, it actually lowers the temperature of the incinerator and it can release dioxin, which is harmful to the environment and the human body. So now we can see that how a very small act at like not throwing away food can actually become very important in fighting climate change. So one of our component in our advocacy is that we aim to make green lifestyles as achievable as possible for like everybody. And so we start by identifying small actions that people can do rather than giving them the impression that they have to undergo like drastic changes in their life to be more sustainable. So here are some of the things we have identified to live a more sustainable life. So first of all, being food literal, like having education about your food, learning about where your food comes from, where you can purchase it, food that are locally grown and in season to reduce carbon footprints, as well as simple things like planning your purchases ahead to make sure you buy just enough food so you don't generate a lot of waste. And in that situation, it's actually a win-win solution for both the customer, the consumer, as well as for the environment, because you can actually save a lot of money if you purchase and buy wisely. And moving on, we can also look at other ways that we can cook, and that would be able to save the energy and as well as reduce food waste. So, for example, in a lot of our cooking classes that we are promoting is for people to use like all of the ingredients that we are given. So, for example, we can use, for example, like if you're cooking a pumpkin, lots of us will instinctively throw away like the seeds and the skin, but actually they can all, if you like cook it into like a soup, it can all go into the blender. So no waste will have to be generated. Or for example, in Taiwanese or like more Asian cuisines, when we get a turnip, sometimes we just throw away the leaves that are on top, but actually a lot of like chefs will use them to make like delicious broths or to like cook them separately and make it into a vegetable dish. And those are all very, very practical ways we can do in our daily lives to reduce food waste. And further on, we're still in the kitchen arena. So there are ways that you can like store food wisely in the fridge. A lot of people don't actually know where things should be positioned so that they don't go bad. And also just checking your fridge before you buy something new. So these are all things that we can do on a daily or even just weekly basis. And it would be beneficial to both ourselves and for the environment. And for us, we're also very aware that society has changed in many ways, and that traditional gender roles in the household are different from when women was the main caretaker of the family. but now they also have a strong role in the workplace. That also means like a change in lifestyles will take place and people don't have as much time to cook. So we're not asking people to stick to their traditional roles of living, but instead we can look at new ways to live a more sustainable life. So for example, if you're eating out more, there's always ways you can choose more environmentally restaurants and or just not ordering too much food, because in Taiwan we actually throw away a lot of the food we order, and or to tell the chef if there's something you don't eat so that he doesn't put it in the dish and it won't lead to waste. So these are all very simple ways we can just create a more sustainable lifestyles in modern society. And last but not least, I think for us, it's very crucial that we all work together, like people who are fighting the climate crisis, that we're all working together as one team. So for example, we're very aware that food waste situations might be very different from populated cities to like places that are further out there. But we think that local action is the best way to ensure climate change initiatives become a way of life. So for this year, we actually opening up some funding opportunities for other people or individuals or teachers or organizations who also want to join the fight in fighting food waste, either in schools, in their companies, or in their communities. So this is the way we want to ensure that we're all working together and sharing like the resources so we can better promote like sustainable lifestyles in Taiwan. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Cynthia. Okay. Thank you, Cynthia, for sharing so many insightful ideas about how we can do a more sustainable daily life, especially when she mentioned that food. We have 3 meals each day. It means that we have 3 opportunities to take climate actions every day to make sure that the choices of your food uh, and also the way of your life is more sustainable. And I really like the point of view that Claire just said that the traditional gender roles are usually still like limited our imagination about preparing meals. And we want to include more people to join us to know about where the food come from. The food that you eat each day, where are they come from? So I know that Homemakers United Foundation actually have some workshops into the schools. So maybe we can talk it about later on how you like raise awareness of those students, not only just girls but boys, to learn more about the food that you eat, where are they come from, and how can they be more healthy and sustainable.
Thank you, Claire. Next, we would like to welcome Fashion Mom, Recycle and Upcycle. This is a Facebook community
which is initiated by a political party called Obasang United. As you know, that Obasang is middle-aged women in Taiwanese and also in Japanese. So you can see that how moms are actually aware of the fast fashion issues in Taiwan. So we would like to invite Cherry He to share with us what's your observations on the fast fashion that young people are following right now, and why you decided to initiate this project, and what's the impact that you think you can achieve through this project. Cherry, the floor is yours.
Okay. Could you please share my PPT?
Sure.
Yeah. Hi, good morning. I'm Fashion Mom, Recycle and Upcycle Project Director, and I'm also Taiwan Obasang Political Equality Party Secretary General. Yu Jong Ho, you can call me Cherry. It's about Fashion Mom, the second-hand economy and homemakers service project is attempting to build a economic independence for homemakers. We invite the education group and party members to join this project. This initiative also offers economic and personal support to homemakers. And next. Yeah, we are a group of stay-at-home mothers. Next. Yeah, and we care about the environment and climate change, even though we are not part of labor market. We believe we can help our children work for environmental sustainability. And next. Yeah, one sustainability problem comes from fashion. 460 pieces of clothing are thrown away every minute in Taiwan. We are worried about the environmental pollution caused by fast fashion. So we started using Facebook as a platform to recirculate our secondhand clothes. We clean and take picture and put photo on. And we use our partner's spare space as a warehouse and invite our children to transform the space together. Next. Yet, we work with our children and have fun. And next. Families with children often make us of the second-hand clothes market, but 40% to 50% of our clothing still cannot be sold. So next. Yeah. Our solution is to use unsold second-hand clothes as upcycling materials, and we planning workshops in parks and second-hand markets. Next. Yeah, and we also teach children to care about sustainable fashion by allowing them to have a voice in design. The children play with the fabric and create cute toys, such as puppies. Next. Yeah, we successfully diminish to fast fashion pollution with children's creativity. And next. Yeah, and the recirculation of second-hand clothes brings us some income and supports partners who need bring their children along while participating in project. It's not easy, but we believe that women's economic empowerment doesn't necessarily require women to leave their children and enter the labor market. Our goal is to create a system to take care of our environment with children and also generate income. Thank you for your listening.
Thank you, Yurong. Thank you, Cherry, for sharing this project. I was pretty impressed by a statistics that you just offered. It says that every minute we throw away 460 clothes in Taiwan. So
Yeah.
during our session, can you imagine how many clothes that we throw away? And those clothes are still usable. And I'm very impressive by the program that Rong that just mentioned because they didn't just recycle the clothes, they upcycle the clothes by gathering kids and parents together to share with their to have quality times together, to use those recycled clothes to make new toys and to have more memories between those kids and parents. So I would like to come back with Rirong later again to also share about these workshops. I believe there must be a lot of stories about it. You can share it later. Okay. And next, we will welcome Taipei Awakening Association, which is a very powerful women-led organization in Taipei. They have a lot of projects that aim on empowering women. But the new initiative project is Storyware, which they combine the women empowerment and also climate justice together. And without further ado, I'll just welcome Cynthia to share with us about this Storyware project. Cynthia, the floor is yours.
Hello. Hi, good morning, everybody. Hi, would you mind share the video for us first? Hello?
Yes, we're playing the video, but
Okay.
the sound is
Okay.
sorry. We trying to figure
That's
out.
fine. Actually, as you guys may aware of that, Storyware is it's a very famous program in Taiwan, which is founded by Miss Kwan. The founder is the second generation of a very famous close family, and she found that the fashion industry has been too much wasted of the environmental and create a lot of pollution. So they just try to, okay, so the video is back.
Yes.
Okay.
We're sorry, but the audio technical is unsolved. So maybe we can just check out the image of the.
Okay, as you guys may see that this is our members is trying to make the very fashion. Okay, this is Taipei fashion show. This is the mayor, Mr. Cohen Zhe. What he wear, it's made from our foundation association, and yeah, it's all the clothes is the materials is from his old clothes, old suits. Okay, and we just recycle that and made a very fashion suits. Okay, and okay, the woman we look is, yeah, okay, and actually, as you may aware of that, Taipei Awakening Association is an NGO found create to help the women to create their second career in Taiwan. So we try to combine all this woman empower and the society together. So we try to very hard to cooperate with many enterprises such as Storyware, such as ASUS, ASUS, and TSMC. Yeah, we try to talk to them that about maybe we can cooperate with them. So the Storyware is why they can the program is what we made, all right? And it started from 4 years ago, and at the first it's quite hard because all these women can even know how to make a clothes, not even how to sew all these this kind of bags, okay? And we try very, very hard to teach them, and it's a very limited resources to do that. Yeah, so from this beginning, and yeah, it's quite hard. And then the next year, we try to get help from the government. So we apply in project which you called 义工房, okay? And we start with five limited people, and now we have 50 members, okay? And 10 associations who can help us to create more storywares, something like storywares, clothes and bags to us. Okay, and from this, we try to make that the donation. We're not trying to get the enterprises to donate money. We try to let them to place the orders. Okay, and then through these orders, we can help the woman how to negotiate, how to make business with the society also, and then help them to get into the society again, not just only using there's something that's just in their mind, but we open that more capabilities for them. This is what we're trying to do. And Storyware is just one of our projects, okay? And from the third year and the fourth year, we try to create more and more projects. Okay? Like we cooperate with 7-Eleven, we cooperate with ASUS, we cooperate with UMC. They maybe they have some gifts or they have some clothes, right? They can use our product successfully, and then through this kind of negotiation with the marketing department or the company, this our members can learn how to negotiate and how to make business with this famous big enterprises. For them, I saw there are a lot of changes from them. They when the first year they came, they keep crying, they feel upset, they will hit herself. But from now they have they even have title, they even have name cards, and they even can make a phone call with the strangers to introduce their own products. Yeah, and they know how to negotiate and how to bargain with these enterprises, these companies, and then they even know they even some of them told me that we explored the capabilities that they never think about they can do. Okay, so and then more of that they came, yeah, they would like to explore more, and they would like to help people. So imagine that they start from a very sad person and into a very positive person, and then they can share their experience to the others. I think this is what our association done and made, and actually, of course, we will continue to do that. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Cynthia. Is the bag behind you the work from those members?
Yes, the 2 bags is from our members, and one is it's for the environment. Look at that. One is for the dogs because we cooperate with SPAC, which is an association. Yeah, and the other it's shark fin. Yeah, it showed that we reject to eat more shark fins, and we recycle. Each bag have a have a name on that, and then we can. Can you see inside the bag that there is the label in it? Okay. Yeah.
So they have their name on the tag. So people
Yes.
who buy those bags, they know who made this bag.
Yes, and then they know that how many hours they use on this bag. Okay.
Wow. That's very an innovative way to let people know about the project.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can see the two difference of these bags. Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much,
You're
Cynthia,
welcome.
for the further details about the products. And it's always an issue in Taiwan that women came back to work place after they get married and have children. It's always an issue. And it's really nice to see such a program that not only empower women to get back to their workplace, but also to raise awareness of the climate issues through this project. And it's very impressive that you have collaborations with those enterprises. And we can later talk about how those enterprises learn more about the issue of women empowerment and also climate change. Thank you, Cynthia. And last but not least, we would like to welcome the founder of Reeds Trust Fund. In this case, we will learn more about how the founder of Reeds Trust Fund, Shu Hua, to leverage the enterprise's resources to do a project that not only solves the problem of women empowerment, but also the problem of climate crisis. Shu Hua, you may have the floor now.
Okay. Can you upload my PPT?
Yes.
Okay. Good morning. My name is Shu Hua Kang. I'm the founder of Rich Trust Fund. I'm very honored to have this opportunity on behalf of my organization to join this panel and share our experience of how we try to link circular economy with women's empowerment. Next. The Rich Trust Fund was established in 2018 with a vision to empower women's growth. We hope to serve as an integrative platform where diverse resources can combine together and devoted to the essential goal of social innovation and interdisciplinary collaboration. We hope to develop a model for individuals and organizations from various sectors that are interested in advancing the public good and working together to create tenfold social influences. So in 2021, we established another nonprofit organization, Spring Sprouts Innovations for Social Service, working with the Rich Fund together to promote social work-based social innovation for the nonprofit sector. Next. So one of our innovative projects to support women's growth while combating climate change through multidisciplinary collaboration is the project Refashioning Burlap Coffee Bags. We refashion coffee black bags into creative products through the joint efforts with Louisa Coffee to reduce the waste, create job opportunities, and increase social participation for middle-aged and senior women in the communities. Next. So in 2018, statistics shows that Taiwan imported 36,000 metric tons of coffee beans. With the import of coffee beans come at least 500,000 black coffee bags each year in Taiwan. And most of the black bags became waste. That increased our environmental burdens. Next. So by chance that the Vice President of Louisa Coffee, Dennis Huang, and I discussed the possibility to reuse their more than 10,000 black coffee bags consumed each year for a charitable purpose. Louisa Coffee is a social responsible coffee chain company with more than 500 stores in Taiwan and overseas. So they dedicate to promote circular economy. So we came across the idea to turn these black bags into creative products. Next. So we noticed that quite a few nonprofit organizations in Taiwan, they devote to promote financial independence of the middle-aged or senior-aged women and try to support their social participation through handcrafting, a traditional women's expertise, while aspiring to provide stable income for those women. However, we noticed that most of the organizations are facing lack of distribution channels and the marketing resources that hinder them from achieving goals. Next. So hence the Rich Trust Fund joined forces with Louisa Coffee and several other community organizations, including Taipei Awakening Association and the designers to refashion the black coffee bags into coffee cup carriers. This innovative project aims at linking three aspects of issues. First, we hope to reduce the waste of black coffee bags. Second, we hope to create job opportunities and increase social participation for middle-aged and senior women in the communities. Third, we hope this project also serves as a platform to support sustainable development for local handcraft groups in the communities. Next. Okay, so in this project, Louisa Coffee provides reasonable pricing for broader distribution. They purchase these products and distributed them through their sales channels, and all profits go to the Rich Trust Fund to support us to initiate more contribution to social innovation and support community organizations' growth. Louisa Coffee not only creates new sales channels through their coffee shops for this project, but more importantly, I think it's also a way to help the nonprofit organizations gain exposure. This project, I think it sets an example of how enterprise and the nonprofit organizations can work together and both benefit to lend value to the cause for women's empowerment. Next. So this project actually is implemented through a joint effort of different sectors, including nonprofit, for-profit, product designer, and the local handcraft groups. Each partner in this project plays an essential role. Through joint effort, we made this project possible. And I want to take this opportunity to express my sincere appreciation for our partners, Louisa Coffee, Taipei Awakening Association, Locally Handcraft Workshop, White Fabric Design, and the Lianxin Presbyterian Church in Taoyuan. Thank you.
Thank you, Shuhua, for your insightful sharing. Well, I guess not only from Shuhua's presentation, but the presentations from our four speakers, you can see that the climate change issues and also women empowerment issues are really like intersectionalities. They have a lot of cross issues, and also it's really important that they use their power to find other resources to join their projects. So the partnership is also a very important factors to make those projects a successful projects. Well, with all their presentations, I believe that our participants now have a brief idea about how they are trying to do to respond to the climate crisis that we are facing right now. And in the second part, we would like to have further discussions on how those projects actually make impact in their communities, in their cities. So without further ado, I would like to give our second questions to Shuhua again. Can you share with us, based on the Reeds Trust Fund, how what is the biggest impact that you think you make through this project? And how do you like influence people around you to follow your projects and follow your ideas on respond to the climate crisis? Shuhua.
Okay. Okay. So, okay. So, what are the changes we have made, and what are the future prospects for this project? Since 2018, next slide, yeah. Yeah, since 2018, we have used more than 4,500 pieces of black bags to be 25,000 carrier cup, black carriers, and tote bags. We also supported the growth of 3 partner groups while increasing the opportunities for employment and social participation for 10 middle-aged and older women. And then we distribute our products through Louisa Coffee's more than 500 stores in Taiwan. Next, yeah. Next, yeah, okay. So in our 3 partner, the handcraft groups, each has its own particular focus on women's growth. Besides the well-established Taipei Awakening Association that's working with the middle-aged and senior women for their second career, we also work with other 2 groups. For example, the Curly Handcraft Group, they're working for the senior women, especially to appreciate their handcraft skills and promote their social participation. And those seniors join the handcraft studio for social reasons, and which prompts us to consider the possibility of facilitating senior women's social participation through this project. And last year, we worked with the Lianxin Presbyterian Church located in Taoyuan, and 90% of the church members are from the Amish tribe and moved to Taoyuan from the eastern part of Taiwan. And so most of the women we work with used to work for the textile factory, but faced the issue that textile company moving overseas and or hiring migrant workers instead in Taiwan, so they lose their job opportunities. So we supported them to establish a small sewing studio to support their economic growth while linked with their good sewing skills and handcrafting skills. Next. So since 2021, we have strived to expand our social impact through product innovations for more people in the communities, and the nonprofit organizations can join our project. We reuse black bags and turn them into innovative products with the goal of utilizing the black bags efficiently. We work with product designers for product invention. In addition to the coffee cup carriers, the black bags can also become home decoration, tote bags, and even accessories for women in the communities with different handcrafting skills to be able to join this project. These are the photos on the graph, on the PPT are the most popular tote bags made by our partner groups. Next. The thread of these thread accessories on the right-hand side came from the thread boards on the left-hand side. These threads came from the process of dismantling the black coffee bags. I think it serves as an example of how we try to utilize the black bags efficiently while supporting the prospect for more people, even though they don't know how to sew. They have different kind of handcrafting skills. They can join this project. Next. And we also did educational activities with different age groups to promote the concept of environmental protection and women's growth. Next. So, and also we try to make the model working with Louisa Coffee a reproducible model for the collaboration between nonprofit organizations and the business sector. So last year, there are 3 coffee shops and retail stores that joined our program, and they provided free sales channels to promote our products as a way to promote a public good together. Next. So we hope that our project can have a social impact on the following aspects. First, to protect our environment. And second, we hope we can support the growth of our partner groups. And also support women's economic and psychological empowerment. And hopefully this project can become a reproducible model for sustainable collaboration between nonprofit organizations and the corporates. Lastly, we hope we can promote social dialogue through our products on the environmental and the women's empowerment issues. So to reflect what factors contribute to the success of this project, I believe it should be attributed to its multidisciplinary collaboration. And the process of collaboration actually was challenging yet productive. It took time to resolve the difference between different parties. And the rewarding part is that through this collaboration, I think each party in this project gains new perspective and inspiration to reflect on our original thoughts and how we see things. We learn to appreciate different disciplines' view that prompts us to think outside of the box. I believe it's a beauty of the multidisciplinary collaboration, and I hope our example and our experience can have some inspiration to other nonprofit organizations. Thank you.
Thank you, Shuhua. It seems that the Reeds Found Trust has already have a pretty comprehensive network of partnership, not only with NGOs, but also with private sectors and also the communities like grassroots NGOs. And just one quick questions to you. What is the biggest challenge that you think you are facing, the trust fund are facing right now? Is there anything that you want to like do better or any challenges that you think you're facing, and how do you plan to solve the challenge?
I think the production power is not quite enough. It's not compatible with the needs of the demand. Yeah, and I think that's the challenging for handcraft groups, and also that's the issue we are facing right now. So and hopefully we can have more sales channel to distribute these products, and that's the biggest challenge this year for us to achieve.
Thank you, Shuhua. And next, I would like jump to Cynthia, the Taipei Awakening Association. As Shuhua said, you have some project collaborate with the association, and would you like to share the program that you are doing? What is the biggest impact you have done to those women or to the local communities that the associations are based? Cynthia, the floor is yours.
Actually, for us, there are three major movements for us. First of all, is that yeah, we cooperate with a very famous like Ray Charles Fund and Storyware. They are using the recycle materials to do something good for the environment, like yeah, not just this one-time used materials, right? And through this recycle, actually, when we first cooperate with Red Trust, we came through a lot of troubles, like the coffee bag. It's not like very fine material that easy to sew or easy to use, right? I remember that in our office, all the cotton fibers are full in all the spaces and the air. We need to buy 3 or 4 vacuums to clean our air. Okay, and not even mention about that the workers that they are working in a very tough environment, right? So we start to try to make the environment more comfortable. We try to find the other space which is more has a more air fresh place, and to help to cope with this problem. Okay, so the most important things we need to do is that we use the recycled material, okay, and we cooperate some associate who is the same idea with us. Okay. And secondly, we try to make donation differently. Okay, we try to convince our donator that you don't need to donate exactly money to us, but actually, if you are happen to running a business, you can try to place the order to us, which that we made, such as Louisa Coffee, yeah, right? They have they have shops and they have materials. They sell coffee and they sell some cups, some accessories of who can drink coffee, right? So we try to cooperate with this kind of companies, try to convince them that don't just give us one-time donation, okay? Give us many times of orders, okay? Yeah, try to teach us how to fishing instead of give us fish, okay? So this is from at this part, I think we have a very I don't know how to say, yes, not that huge, but very very surprising result of that, because more and more companies agree with this kind of cooperation, and they would like to do this way. Okay, from now and then I found that the other association or the other NGOs is try to it's yeah it's I don't not mimic, just do more and more like use this way, place order instead of donation. Okay, and the third major points of our progress were that we try to go abroad, which is we try to, for example, try to teach the woman in Nepal how to make the mask. close masks. Yeah, when last year when COVID-19 is quite heavy. Yeah, we use online teaching, and we use the video put on the YouTube, and tell the Nepal woman how to make the clothes masks instead of the paper one, and help them to avoid the COVID-19's pandemic. Yeah, so we try to teach the other country, okay, the woman in the other country to learn how to survive and how to make their life easier. This is I think that this is one of the changes this year. Yeah.
Thank you, Cynthia. It seems that the founding from the association is before it coming just from the donation, and right now it's like more hybrid. Like you have your donations, but you also have some income from selling those products.
Yeah.
That's a really big difference. And also you have reached out to other countries to have different collaborations together. That's very impressive too. And also, I would really like the idea that the bag you have the name of the makers on it, so people who get those bags they will know that they will have like more connections with the products. That's something that I think is really innovative and very sweet of you thinking of the way to pay some tribute to the women that you were trying to empower.
Yes,
Thank
it's
you,
a brilliant
Cynthia.
idea. Yes. Yeah.
Yes, and also the working hours, how many hours that they work for this product. That's very important too, because most of the time that we don't really think that the time making something is, you don't have any ideas about it, but until that somebody tells you that, oh, they actually spend like 4 hours to making this bag, that you probably would think that it's an easy job to do, but until you know the hour that they spend on this project, you will like cherish this bag
Yes.
more. Yes. Thank you,
Please
Cynthia.
appreciate the bags.
Yes, yes. Okay, and then I think we will come back to Cherry Yurong. Can you share with us more about the workshops that you just mentioned before, the parents and kids spending time together to use those recycled clothes to make new arts? And also, we would like to know that what do you think the biggest impact that you have made through the projects? Yurong,
Okay.
the floor is yours.
Could you please share my PPT? Yeah. uh, Fashion Mom project is very young. We start from 2021, and here are a few results we have generated. We always do recycle, upcycle, but we don't have money and any support. We do everything. We think everything. We try everything by ourselves. And next, but this year, one, we have applied for 2 government cooperation grants this year, and 2, we have expanded to now 5 local organizations operating in Taiwan. It's from Taipei, Hsinchu, Taichung, Tainan, and Kaohsiung. And with UN SDG targets in mind, there will also be a campaign to monitor election banners this year. We would like to reminding politicians to responsibly produce and dispose of them. Next. Yeah, it's our kids puppies. Okay, and next. Yeah, so Ultimately, our work demonstrates that women who raise children can still actively participate in environment protection and advocacy. It's our experience, but we are very young, so we can share not very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Yurong. Thank you, Cherry. I really like the last slide in your PPT, the election banners, because it's a big environmental issues in Taiwan. Because every time when we have elections, those candidates they printed a lot of like those banners, and hand it on the streets or distributed to the people. Just ask for votes, but we think that the it's really not eco, not only not eco, but also it's caused a lot of problems because the city doesn't look so good when you have all these banners everywhere around. So I really like the idea that fashion moms are actually trying to advocate these issues, and also they try to use a political way to solve the problem. Because I heard Yurong share with us that they want to use their political powers to initiate this program that they want to ask all the political parties to be responsible to those election banners that they printed. So if you want to print those election banners, fine, but you have to find a way to recycle or upcycle it. So I'm very looking forward for this program that Obasang United political party are going to have.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you, Yurong.
Thank you.
Do you have anything to share, Yurong?
Yeah, election banners is a big issue to us because we are normal people and we take our kids. We go to parks and anywhere and always garbage around the world. So we would like to do monitor. They have to responsibility to produce and dispose. We think they have to. Mm.
Yeah,
It's big
that's a
challenge
really
for us. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big challenge, but I think your idea is brilliant. And
Okay.
if everyone knows about it, I believe that people, at least people around me, will agree with these ideas because we are so fed up with those election banners all the time.
Thank
Yes,
you.
thank you, Yurong, again. And last but not least, I would like to ask Claire, can you share with us more about the food project that you are having by Homemakers United Foundations? And if you have further project that you would like to share about energy saving, that will be welcome too.
So previously, I talked a lot about the problems of food waste, and so what I haven't mentioned yet is that 26% of like the food waste around the world comes from like restaurants, and I think the world recognizes that, and so restaurants are more keen to go more environmental, and there is like a rising demand for environmental chefs. But looking back, we realize that there is quite a lack of environmental food education in culinary schools. So although there is a demand, um, we don't necessarily have enough chefs or managers who know how to run, like, for example, a more environmental restaurant, or how to source food more locally and more organically. So that became like one of our main objectives. So in one of our projects, we decided to work with multiple culinary schools, and the objective is to introduce more food education into their curriculum. So those would include topics on identifying food sources, carbon footprints of different ingredients, waste reduction, and practical like cooking and management skills. and as well as other sustainable topics on, like, for example, fisheries and other things related to the SDGs. Yeah, so we really wanted to build a curriculum in which students don't only learn about how to cook a good meal, but also how to be more environmentally friendly, so that we could really combine our food system with our lifestyles. And so that's been our projects for like the past 2 years. And for the first year, when COVID didn't have as big as an impact, we still held like a food competition for the students. And so it was really wonderful to see like how they were able to come up with creative ways to reuse food that would otherwise be thrown away. So like some of the students would look into the fridge, like the school fridge, and take out all the ingredients that were not used. And because it was the end of term, they would be thrown away otherwise. So they would use all of that and make that into like a delicious meal. So it's wonderful seeing like how creative young people can be, and just by empowering them with like the right kind of knowledge, yeah, that I think the possibilities are endless. And
You do so.
but I think I'm muted.
Oh, no.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Now
Yeah,
we
okay.
now.
Thank you. So I'm not sure where I was cut off, but so I was saying that it was encouraging to know that some of the schools wanted to continue to work with us and to extend the project beyond just teaching their students to even like working with their teachers. So, and that is the ultimate goal, because we do want like the teachers with both the culinary knowledge as well as, you know, environmental awareness to go into their classes. So they would bring about like a very well-rounded curriculum, like to the children, not children, but you know, chefs in training. Sorry. Yeah, so that's been very encouraging. But I think one of the key factors is, you know, that we to identify the people who are really interested in collaborating. So it could be teachers or staff members in the school, and start from there. Yeah, and also like this project is funded by the Gao Family Education Foundation, and I think without them it would be really difficult for us to continue work like this, because it does take a lot of time just communicating and rewriting curriculums and stuff. And so yeah, so it's been like a journey that included a lot of people.
Thank you, Claire. I know it's really difficult to actually get into the schools, since just like you mentioned, they already have their own curriculums. So I believe that you must spend a lot of efforts on persuading people to let your workshops to go into the school. But I'm personally very curious about the response of the students, especially male students. How do they think about this kind of workshops? Do you see any difference between different genders? How do they respond to the workshops that you offer?
Yeah, I think the main thing is for culinary students, you really have to design like lectures and talks, and they're just much happier when like you let them work with actual food, and if you invite like a chef from outside, which we do, and to teach them how head chefs outside who work in hotels and wine bars, and how they would try to reduce food waste, and they're very happy about that. So I think in terms of that, the chefs in training, they're equally excited about that, and it's the same with competitions. If you know, if there's a chance it can be creative, and there's, you know, possibly like an award waiting, I think, you know, there's no difference in like gender in regards of, you know, their eagerness to learn and to create.
Thank you, Claire. And also, you mentioned that when you do the food project, you also sharing some like energy saving issues. Like for example, when you cook food, how can you like save the energy at the same time? Do you have any tips like for our participants to like really make an effort on saving energy while they are cooking or during their everyday life?
Yeah, so I think it's a little bit different for like culinary students and for like the general public, because for culinary students, like their objective would be to create like a really good meal. And but also what we wanted to do was like to look at the behind the scenes and make sure, you know, their ingredients are sourced for an environmental friendly place. So therefore, like carbon footprints would be like an important concept. So like for them to know where the food is coming from. So we would prefer it to be like a seasonal food, like from Taiwan. And so that's where we would go in if it's like a project in school. But I think in our daily lives, there are different ways apart from, you know, buying seasonally and buying locally. So we do teach ways of cooking where we just use the, you know, the traditional cooker, and you can like layer it up so that you can just like put the fish and the vegetables and the rice all in there, and then you just have to like turn it on once and then the meal is done. So we do have classes like that for like the general public. So yeah, that is one of the ways we would encourage like people to look into how they can save energy.
Thank you, Claire. Well, I think all of our speakers have offered some like insight ideas about how to respond to the climate emergencies that we are facing right now. And as you can see that their projects are very smart and also respond to the crisis that we are facing. But according to United Nations statistics, a lot of money, especially financing resources, are not going to those projects that women initiated, especially those projects that are most related to our daily lives. A lot of those financing resources are always going to the big companies who are trying to develop those green energy, and people always think that climate crisis and solutions are really far away from us. If we don't have money, if you don't have resources, there's almost like nothing you can do. You can only rely on government's policies, but it's not true, because since climate crisis is already a new normal in our daily lives, every one of us have the responsibility to respond to it. If you don't do anything, it will still affect your lives. So all of those projects are a way that we can like follow, we can like to share and promote those projects around us. So after today's sessions, I believe that you already have some ideas about what actions that you can take, and also what projects that you can like support. You don't really have to spend a lot of time, spend a lot of money to contribute to the crisis that everyone is facing right now. So in the next 15 minutes, we would like to open the floor to our participants. Is there any questions that we have here? Okay, it looks like our participants are pretty. Okay, so if there's no questions from our participants, I would personally like to know more about the projects from Yurong's projects. Can you give us more information about how those Opasang United gathered together as a political party to use a political way to advocates the issues that you care about. Because as we know that Homemakers United Foundation is the same thing happening 35 years ago, because those homemakers, they cares about environmental issues, so they gather together to become a foundation and to keep advocating environmental protections till now. So I would like to know that as a newbie in political and also in the protection issues, environmental protection issues, what how do you get together, and why did you decided to use a political way to try to solve the problems that you want to solve? You know?
Basically, we are know each other how many years ago? When our kids is was born or 1 year or 2 years old, we start learn and reading and talk each other about Taiwan's future environment and education. A lot of we talking everything, include women's and how to get power. So we learn each other and we active. So we know we are very small, and in Taiwan or in this world, into labor market is very important because you have to get money, and if you have money, you can you have voice. But we don't trust this role, so we try to create another role to help each other, and we take care our kids. We never go to school. We learn by self, but we learn each other. We reading by self. We have a group is for market self and political and education. We are different way to try anything, but is a big issue is about our environment, no nuke, and our kids will live in here in Taiwan forever. So we have to protect our future and our environment. So we talk our kids is very important, and we have to work together. We always do that, and we always try everything. So we can become a big group, but different way, and try to protect our Taiwan and environment and our future. We do everything with our kids and with our children, because they are our future. They make Taiwan's future. So we don't want to leave our future. So we work together. And we believe we can do it. It's very hard because work with baby or kids, they have any questions, and you have to take care of them, and you have work. So it's not easy, but we try, and we would like to live here happy and 有信念要怎么讲
have faith
yeah
to
yeah
achieve what we the future that we want.
yeah maybe will take how many years we can see something, but we don't know, but we would like to try with our kids.
Thank you, Yurong. I guess Yurong just gave us some powers about every individuals have their way to make the change that you want to see in the future, and public participation is a very important way to do so. So it's not only through the educations. For example, Makers United Foundation, they have partnerships with schools. They start with education. That is really important. And for fashion moms, they use a political way to advocate the things that they cares about. So they talk to the government directly. That's another partnership that we need to have. And also for those for the Taipei Awakening Association and Reed's Trust Fund, they collaborate with private sectors. Enterprises has the most financial resources. So that is another partnership that we have to make. So according to SDG's spirits, I think partnership is crucial. And also we have always to look into the intersectionality of every issues. For example, gender equality and climate change. So in this session, I think we can have a little conclusions on this. That is, a lot of people still think climate change is just a scientific issues, but it's not true. It's already affect everyone everywhere and affect our everyday lives. So it's not just a scientific issues, it's a political issues, and it's also a gender issues, since everyone living, and not just every people, but every creatures living on this planet are affected by this man-made climate crisis. So it's our responsibilities to respond to the crisis that we made. And I hope that during the past 90 minutes, you already have some ideas about how you can do your responsibilities according to the programs that our remarkable speakers share. And I hope that through these panels, people in Taiwan, you can support those programs more. And if you want to further informations about those projects, you're welcome to Taiwan Women's Center in Taipei. We have this open exhibition space where you can come and take a close look at those projects. And we are very welcome you to keep contact with us if you want to know more about it. So last but not least, I would like to say that climate justice is something that we need to keep in our mind, because it's not just affecting every one of us, it's affecting the place that we are living. So if we don't protect this planet, we don't have any future. There's nothing we can talk about. So to close this session, I would like to invite our speakers to wave to our participants and maybe see you in, next year on NGO CSW Forum. Thank you for participating. See you next year. Bye.
Thank you.